Hi, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to Angelica Arreola. And Angelica is a senior at the University of Washington, Bothell. And unlike all the other people that we've met so far, she has a major in math. So I'd like her to share her background, how she got to this point, and then we'll talk about her future and the type of work that she can do in cybersecurity. Angelica?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Angelica. I'm a senior at UW Bothell, and I'm currently majoring in mathematics. I graduated high school exactly 10 years ago, so it's a long time coming. I'm finally excited. When I first started out, I went to Seattle University for a year and a half, and that's when I realized I had no idea, desire, or anything of what to do. So I took a break, and then I had friends, family try to pull me directions of what I should do. So then 2 years later, I went to a community college to go into the medical field. But after volunteering at a hospital, I realized that's not really up for me. And then 2 years later, I decided to go back, start all over, and see what my interests are. And that's how I got into math.
Yes, okay. And so when we did this, I was kind of surprised because you'd never really done a career assessment.
Yeah, this is my first one.
That's amazing because you're a bright lady and your math skills are just off the charts. So I'm glad you finally found this.
I know, it's very useful, helpful.
Tell people how you find it being useful, because sometimes people don't realize just what math can be used for.
Yeah, it's funny because it actually shows you the skills you thought you didn't have, and it actually gives you good information of what you should go into for like people like me who get confused, like don't know what to do. Since math is such a broad subject, it actually gave certain types of career options, which I thought was pretty good.
Which you thought was very, very useful. Yeah. And some of the things that we talked about, because you were working at a job where you're, as you admitted to me, and you said everybody knows just how shy you are.
Yes.
But when you were in your last position for 9 years while you were going to school, you said you preferred working behind the scenes.
Exactly. I know when you think of the company Nordstrom, I've been there for 9 years, you think about, customer service, working in the front of the lines. But for me, I kind of loved working in the back, working in the back in the computers, behind the scenes. I just felt more comfortable.
Well, the other thing that I noticed about your skill set and your job satisfaction indicators is that you're very methodical, you're extremely focused. You do not like multitasking at all. And you like planning things out. You don't like surprises. But the other thing that you pointed out to me was that your supervisors would ask you to train the new employees. So could you tell me, and everyone else, here you are kind of shy, but at the same time you enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, I feel like I got comfortable with the tasks at hand. So I felt like that I took that as a responsibility, like, I can showcase what I know. So it felt kind of like an accomplishment I was able to do. Just to show them around. I know it seems weird how I don't want to like be like, how would you say it? Be in the open, like be a leadership, like just work behind the scenes. But I don't know, I kind of like doing that.
Well, that's a very important role to have in the world of cybersecurity, because as we move into the areas of data analytics, which is something we can talk about when the time comes for you to consider a master's degree, having those skill sets, those math skill sets, with an understanding of some of the technical aspects of cybersecurity, because you said you also like working with computers, and you have an understanding of them, you can marry that to move that forward into this emerging career field. So could you please share with me and the other people that are watching this, what area you're going to be working in?
I'm going to be working in the cyber incidents response. So I'm going to be working firsthand.
Okay, and quite often, when people talk about the incident response, they sometimes they think about emergency management. Okay, which is like running around, yeah. But on the other hand, it's also research and digging. And that seems to be a quality, that laser focus and that persistence.
And you want to find the solution. I think that's pretty interesting. And after hearing about cybersecurity this past summer, I've gotten really interested, and I just noticed that there's all kinds of different branches out there. So, and I've learned that you don't have to be a CS major. So that was really helpful to know.
Yes, but and at the same time, you do understand how computers work.
Yeah.
So the idea that we can have people that are coming in from math and physics and sociology, we've had people from social work. You can come from any of the sciences, and in fact, someone told me that some of their best cybersecurity people, jazz musicians. Yeah, so you're bringing a whole new aspect to this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you take that spin on incident response in the year to come.
Yeah, I'm actually excited.
I am too. So we'll be in touch on a regular basis, won't we?
Yes.
Thank you.